Diabetic neuropathy is the number one complication of diabetes. 50% of the people with diabetes will develop a neuropathy at some point in their lives. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Dr. Talha Vakar. I'm a neurologist and I practice in Rawalpindi, Pakistan. Today I'm going to be talking about a very common and a very important topic, which is diabetic neuropathy. Diabetic neuropathy is diagnosed in people who have symptoms of neuropathy, high blood sugars, and in whom other causes of neuropathy have been ruled out. But before I go into any kind of depth about diabetic neuropathy, I think it's very important that I briefly talk about what the two most common types of diabetes are. Most of you must have heard about type 1 and type 2 diabetes. Type 1 diabetes happens when there is an autoimmune destruction of the cells which produce insulin in the pancreas. Because less insulin is produced, there is less insulin present in the system, and hence there is more glucose present in the bloodstream, which leads to damage to various organs and blood vessels within the body. And there's damage to nerves as well, which presents as diabetic neuropathy. Then there is type 2 diabetes, which happens because of something called insulin resistance. This happens because there's enough insulin in the system, but the end receptors where the insulin has to act are not as responsive to the insulin. So there might be an excess amount of insulin within the system, but because the receptors to insulin are resistant and not as responsive, the net result is more glucose present within the system than there should be in a healthy individual, leading to organ damage, including damage to the nerves. In type 1 diabetes, the symptoms of neuropathy usually appear after many years of having a high blood sugar. Whereas in type 2 diabetes, the symptoms of neuropathy might be present at the time of diagnosis of the diabetes, or they might appear later on, several years down the line into being diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. There are three major types of nerves within the body which can be affected by diabetes. They are sensory nerves, motor nerves, and autonomic nerves. As you might imagine, each one of these produces a different set of symptoms. When sensory nerves are involved, they might lead to symptoms like numbness, which usually happens in a glove and stocking pattern. What does that mean? Imagine yourself wearing stockings and gloves, and imagine that the numbness from a sensory neuropathy in diabetes is affecting the areas which are covered by the stocking in your lower extremities and by the gloves in your hands. You can also think of it this way, that the longest nerves in the body get affected first. So it's the feet and the lower extremities, the lower ends of the lower extremities first. And later, as the effect of the neuropathy comes up, the arms, the fingertips, and the hands can also be affected. So hence, it's referred to as a glove and stocking pattern. When the motor nerves are affected, there can be weakness within the feet. So once again, it's the longest nerves in the body which are affected first. So weakness in the feet muscles can also lead to D-shaping of the foot, which we sometimes refer to as a Charcot foot. Lastly, autonomic nerves can also be affected. Autonomic nerves generally supply our organs. So they supply our heart. They have a role in controlling the heart rate. They supply our gut. They have a role in maintaining motility of the gut. And they do other functions like supplying the sweat glands and supplying our genitourinary system. Symptoms of autonomic neuropathy might include things like a low blood pressure, an irregular heart rate, early satiety, which means that the nerves supplying the stomach have become weak and the stomach itself has become lazy. So maybe a couple of bites of something might make the person feel full, or the person might have constipation or diarrhea. Or if the nerves affecting the genitourinary system are affected, the person might have something like difficulty attaining an erection. What I've just talked about is referring to what we call a diabetic polyneuropathy, where several nerves within the body will be affected, and they are usually affected in a glove and stocking pattern. So the longest nerves first, which is the nerves supplying the feet and the legs, and then later on it can be nerves involving the fingers and the hands, so on and so forth. There can be several other types of neuropathies which diabetes can cause. One of the most common ones amongst them is a median neuropathy at the risk, what we sometimes refer to as carpal tunnel syndrome. Other nerves which might be involved in diabetes are nerves involving the muscles of the eye. So somebody can develop double vision because one of the nerves affecting one of the eyes got injured because of diabetes, or what we refer to as microangiopathy. And the person might develop a double vision lasting a couple or 3 months. Other nerves which can be affected because of diabetes are the nerve roots which come out from the spinal cord and are supplying the muscles of the arm or the muscles of the rib cage or the muscles of the lower extremities. Each of these is referred to as a radiculopathy. In diabetes, people can have radiculopathies. They can have what we refer to as plexopathies. Plexus is a network of nerves which is formed from multiple nerve roots from the spinal cord coming together to form sort of like a grid. And then later on, that grid divides into multiple nerves supplying the upper extremities. And likewise, there is a plexus of nerves which forms multiple nerves which supply the lower extremity. So basically, diabetes can affect nerves anywhere within the body. The best doctors to get your diabetic neuropathy diagnosed are neurologist or an endocrinologist, a doctor who specializes in diseases affecting the endocrine glands, and diabetes can be one of them, or a medical specialist or an internist, because an internist sees problems affecting multiple organ systems of the body, and diabetes being a very, very common disease, most internists or medical specialists will be quite comfortable with seeing and diagnosing a patient with diabetic neuropathy. The first step in diagnosing diabetic neuropathy is getting a thorough history from the patient. Later, the doctor might move on to examine the patient to confirm the suspicion that the symptoms are because of a neuropathy. Then, to confirm the diagnosis further, the doctor might go on to get some blood tests which will confirm that the patient has high blood sugars, and the doctor might also do some other tests to make sure that there is no other competing cause like poor kidney function or thyroid disease as a cause of the neuropathy. Although it's not common, but your doctor might also end up getting a nerve conduction study and an electromyography to confirm the diagnosis of a neuropathy. It will usually happen if there are multiple differential diagnoses that your doctor is considering and he or she wants to be absolutely sure that your symptoms are because of diabetic neuropathy and not something else. Next aspect I'm going to talk about is how to manage diabetic neuropathy. There are two aspects to managing this disease. The first one is symptomatic therapies, which will take care of the discomfort that the patient is experiencing from the numbness or the burning pain that they're having in their feet, usually at night time. The second aspect will take care of how to slow down the progression of the neuropathy. This usually involves good glycemic control. What do I mean by that? It means to have the blood sugars as close to a normal person's as possible and to maintain it in a stable state. Most internists or medical specialists are quite comfortable with managing a person's blood sugars. But if somebody has got really resistant diabetes or if it's really poorly controlled, you might end up seeing a doctor called an endocrinologist who is an expert in diabetes. Another important aspect of managing diabetes and neuropathy associated with it is good foot care. Because the longest nerves in the body are affected first, so the feet are the location where the initial damage might start to take place. In addition to the nerves getting weak, the blood supply to the feet also starts to get weak because the high blood sugars also affect those blood vessels, leading to increased rate of atherosclerosis within those blood vessels. So that ends up being a devastating combination. Because of the poor blood supply, the wounds tend to heal poorly, and because the person has lost sensation in their feet because of the neuropathy, they tend to get injured more, which might be because of bumping your foot into something or because of poorly fitting footwear, but the person not realizing that it's not comfortable. In most places, the pain or the numbness or the burning associated with a diabetic neuropathy will be best managed by a doctor called a neurologist. These doctors understand how the nerves of the body are placed and how they function, and they usually are good at providing symptomatic relief to patients who are experiencing discomfort because of diabetic neuropathy. As I said earlier, autonomic nerves are also affected because of diabetes. And one of the key symptoms that these patients might have is something called gastroparesis. It basically means that the stomach becomes lazy and very little food will make you feel full. And that often leads to a very poor appetite, and many patients are quite distressed about it. So, managing gastroparesis with several medications that we have available is an important part of managing diabetic neuropathy. Erectile dysfunction is another very important symptom which many patients will experience. There are several ways to manage it, but usually those patients whose erectile dysfunction is significantly affecting their lives will end up getting referred to a urologist. The urologist will have several medications that they can use to help the patient, or if nothing else works, there might be a penile prosthesis that the urologist might offer the patient to help with erectile dysfunction. Another important symptom that patients with diabetic neuropathy might experience is something called orthostatic hypotension. What that basically means is that when the person stands up, their blood pressure starts to go down. And when there is a significant drop and the blood pressure standing up is significantly low, these patients will end up experiencing symptoms like dizziness or blacking out. And in very severe cases, they will not be able to stand up or they will faint and fall down. Fortunately, orthostatic hypotension is not a common symptom with diabetic neuropathy, but when it's there, it's really important to manage this symptom to help with the quality of life with these patients. It's usually the neurologist who can manage this, or the cardiologist, or even the endocrinologist who's managing this patient if they're comfortable with managing orthostatic hypotension. A surgeon might also need to get involved with management of patients with diabetic neuropathy. This usually happens when patients develop wounds on their feet and they're poorly healing or they get infected, and the dead tissue from the wounds needs to be debrided off or taken off so that healthy tissue remains behind and can heal and lead to recovery of those wounds. Sometimes, though, things do get out of control and those wounds don't heal and get infected, and that infection can affect the rest of the body in something called sepsis. In those situations, to save the life of the patient, it gets important to get rid of that infected part of the body, often leading to something called an amputation, which basically means that the person loses the limb to save the rest of the person. Although devastating, it is a life saving procedure. I can't overemphasize the need for good foot care in patients with diabetic neuropathy. It's really, really important. It's also important for patients who have deformed feet because of diabetic neuropathy to get special boots made so that further injury to the feet does not happen and wounds don't develop, which can later get infected. If your diabetes doctor or your endocrinologist is not looking at your feet each time you visit them, you're missing out on something. You need to remind your doctor that foot care and foot health is an essential part of patients who have diabetes, and especially those who have diabetic neuropathy. There are certain people who are more likely to get a severe version of diabetic neuropathy. Those include people who are very tall, or those who've got poor blood pressure, those who have heavy alcohol intake because alcohol itself can damage nerves, those with diabetes for a long, long time, those with advanced age, those who are smokers, and those who have got high cholesterol. So, to summarize, diabetic neuropathy is a very, very common complication of diabetes. In fact, the most common complication of diabetes. You need to be seeing your doctor regularly if you have diabetic neuropathy. A suitable doctor to diagnose this is either your neurologist or an endocrinologist. An endocrinologist is also a doctor who's an expert in the management of diabetes. There are two main aspects to the management of diabetic neuropathy. Number one is good blood sugar control. This has the role in slowing down the progression of diabetic neuropathy. The second is symptomatic therapies, which include pain control when the person experiences discomfort because of neuropathy, treatment of other symptoms like gastroparesis, erectile dysfunction, orthostatic hypotension, taking good care of your feet, treating infections on the feet as soon as possible. Diabetes itself is a big deal, and diabetic neuropathy is an important complication of diabetes, so do not take it lightly. I hope that with this video clip, I've added something to your knowledge and awareness. Please take good care of yourself. Assalamu alaikum rahmatullah.